feeling Christmassy in the slightest. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas and welcome to part 1 of our Christmas specials of Code and Colour.
Here, we discuss all things video games and animation.
That's correct, and I am your Greg's wearing Tyler. That sounds wrong, doesn't it? Greg's wearing Tyler. Greg's jumper wearing Tyler.
I just had so many images go through my head, and I'm like, keep it PC, Josh, keep it
No,
PC.
yeah. We are on a semi-family friendly show.
Yeah, and I am your pajama jumper wearing, non-Christmas jumper owning second host.
I thought you definitely had one because I swear I've seen a Christmas jumper from you before, but
yeah,
hey ho,
it was a Mando one.
Ho ho ho. How have you been, buddy?
Busy. I feel like I've just been through the ringer this past week, so I've done a few things, done a bit of animation, which I've been.
You have. I saw you did some eyes.
Yeah, I did some eyes on phone tutorial. I really enjoyed that. I realised as soon as I started it how difficult it would be.
It's not easy animation, is it?
No, it's not. It was quite gratifying. Like straight away, I'd got that. Oh, I've done a couple of eyes now, and how you drew one and you animated one and then you copied that to another like field or track, whatever it is, and you've got two eyes blinking. And I was like, oh, I've just done that. It's taken me an hour. I love it. I just did that. So working on an animation piece, which I haven't actually discussed this off air with you. It's very difficult and might make it a bit more simpler. But I did a video of myself doing it. So
You videoed yourself doing that entire thing.
Doing what I wanted to do, yeah. And then like I tried to like over copy like what I was doing. Like
you're rotoscoping.
Yeah, I was trying to do that.
I want to see it. Drop the video. Drop the video.
It's hard. I'll drop the video if you drop your dancing video.
Yeah, no, I don't. Well, I don't. I have an excuse. I don't have the same phone I had when I recorded that anymore.
Goodbye. So yeah, and I did that, and then I've just been animation-wise. What have I been doing, like in terms of animated TV shows? I don't think I've really watched anything. I watched your ever favorite TV show that I know you love, and we should discuss at some point of how much of a powerhouse it is, Rick and Morty. What else? I've just gamed. I bought the premium PlayStation Plus thing.
You bought that
that gives you all the old games. So
I thought you've had that for ages.
No, I had the second tier one that give you like Horizon Forbidden West and that, and then if you get like the really premium version of it, that's like £13 a month. It gives you like the old like Sly Raccoons and old God of Wars, and you can like stream them and stuff. So I've just been playing that. Played God of War 3, God of War Ascension.
Yeah. There's something else you've missed, but I'll wait. You won't figure it out. I'll figure it out for you. Don't worry about it.
Oh, is it Lego Fortnite?
Yeah, we've also been doing that.
We have been doing that.
We have
done that for a couple of days.
together. We haven't played it for it's been a couple of days. We need to get back on that at some point.
We do. Yeah, really enjoyed that. Had a hankering to play Fortnite with you today, but I thought, I wonder if he's busy.
Yes, today has been.
Turns out you were very busy. So yeah, I had a couple of hours to spare, and I was like, I wonder if I'll get on. But then couldn't. But yeah, other than that, I've just been playing some more PlayStation 2 games and just reliving my past. And things have not aged well. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Things are
that
not
is something
well.
I think it might be a cause for discussion later. actually,
100%.
you know.
Yeah. Like I was
Yeah.
playing the old Sly Raccoon, and I was like, I had beer goggles when I was playing this because playing it
Well, I
now,
think
I was
there's
like,
definitely a discussion to be had around can nostalgia save everything? And the answer to that, I
100%.
think, in short, no. But
It was well made though. Made by Sucker Punch. Did not know that.
yeah. What do you mean you didn't? We did a whole episode on Sucker Punch.
Yeah, but I've slept since then, so it
He
came
did
up.
know that.
It
He
did.
did know that. He just forgot.
Yeah. Anyway, what about you? How have you been?
I've been not too shabby. What have I been doing? Watching? No, I haven't really watched a lot. I did rewatch one of my favorite animated movies, Christmas movies, the other day, but I'll save it because might be a cheeky little recommendation there.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah. Oh, I've been playing. Yeah, we played some. I mean, I've been playing Fortnite in all capacities. We had been playing some Lego Fortnite. Done that. Been doing some drawing again because I'd kind of stopped. And so I did a drawing for some friends, but I can't reveal that at this stage in case they ever hear this. So you'll see that on my Instagram after Christmas. And then I also started doing another drawing because I was looking at some artwork come up for this character, and I was like, I want to give it a go. And I realised I'm not very good at drawing human details realistically. And so for context, I was trying to draw Arthur Morgan in the GTA style, or rather the Red Dead style, that very kind of pop arty kind of vibe, but it almost feels semi-realistic. Because as we've discussed before, Red Dead characters look a lot more realistic than GTA ones do. We've discussed how GTA characters are a lot more stylized. I think Arthur is very proportionally a correct-looking human being, especially for the time era that he's set. But there is that pop art, especially in a lot of the official artwork for Red Dead. And yeah, so I've been trying to draw that. I've given it a good crack. I think I've done all right. I'm really struggling with drawing sort of like cartoony hair. It's not an easy feature to draw. So I've been doing that. I think that really sums it up for me. I don't think I've drawn or played anything other than that. The new DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet dropped the other day, and I've been dying to play it, but I'm waiting. So I'm gonna hopefully get that this weekend. But yeah, that's about it really. So you might have noticed me and Josh are looking particularly festive today, and we are not sponsored by Greggs as much as I'd like to be. We are. It's the only Christmas jumper I own. So
no, I was just thinking about sponsorship. I was like, oh, I could be sponsored by better people, and then I was like, actually, Greggs is a powerhouse. It's a titan of the industry.
Mate, if I could sit here right now, knowing that they've provided me with some festive bakes, whoa, Greggs, if you want to, link up,
Black card,
let us know.
Yeah.
Code and color. Come on,
we'll take it.
Come on,
yeah.
Come on. Yeah. But this week is part one of a two-part Christmas sort of series we're going to do to round it off for the year. Lots of big changes and plans coming for the next year, which we will reveal to you in due time. So stay tuned, our fellow Code and Color compadres. So this week, what we're going to be looking at is, well, we've had a big year. There's been lots that's come out. There's lots that's happened, and we thought we'd give some, we keep it fun for the part one of our Christmas special, and to reflect on the year, we've decided to do an awards on some of our favourite moments and least favourite moments of this year. So we're going to be doing that. So Josh, shall we get into it?
Let's get into it.
So the CNC Awards, as we've now just quickly coined that term, and it makes sense. So we have decided on 10 awards.
What are you talking about? This is a well thought out, well planned podcast.
We've had this in the works for months.
Yeah.
No, the actual awards we've been working on for ages, but the name CNC Awards I thought of approximately 30 seconds ago. So the CNC Awards, we have decided to give some credit to our least and most favourite moments of 2023 in regards of what we do. We'd love to hear what you guys think. If you have differing opinions, please, fire them our way. But we'll start, and we're gonna do this in a semi sort of particular order. We're gonna get. I think we should get the worst ones out of the way.
Yeah, let's start dark.
So
let's get these rants
Josh,
out of the way.
Let's get them. Yeah, but we've got 10 categories that we're gonna fly through. So Josh, what is your worst game of 2023? Sorry to these developers, but it's what it is.
So, my worst game of 2023, after going through this list, I found two. I know we only want one. I know we want one.
We'll have only one.
I'm going to keep it brief.
You're having one.
Either.
No, one. Pick one. Pick one.
Both just as bad.
Just tough.
All right, fine. Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, the re-release. Okay, on PS4. And
would you like to know my other one?
You sure? We'll give it an honourable mention.
Last of Us.
I kind of figured you were going to say that if you said Red Dead, but there we go.
Yeah.
So why is Red Dead for you your least favourite game of 2023?
I just think that it really, it just didn't add anything. It got pushed out of the door because people wanted to.
It's kind of laughable that it was also on last year.
Yeah, and they put it on the Switch. They didn't add anything to it. There's no PS4 re-release for it, or PS4, PS5 re-release. There's just. It's just horrendous. Like it shows. Like I have faith in Rockstar, and the GTA 6 has proved that. The GTA 6 trailer has proved that my faith is restored. But it just feels like they don't care about their old properties and their old things that people want to see. No. And I think Red Dead Red Dead, did it remake, whatever it was called? Just wasn't it?
Just a re-release.
Yeah, it was like the GTA Definitive Edition. It was like, yep, sure, you want it, here we go. And what we actually want a GTA trilogy that looks like GTA 5, that looks like Red Dead Redemption 2. That's what we want. We want a Red Dead Redemption remake, not a port. That's my worst game. I think that's your worst game. The biggest crime of 2023 at the moment is cash grabs, and everybody's doing it. What about you?
Sweet. So this is right. It's not necessarily the worst game. It's just the game that I dislike the least out of.
Is our friendship going to be tested right now?
No, I think you'll agree. But for me, so out of all the games that I've played this year, and I think I want to caveat all of this by saying there's been a lot of good games this year. And this is going to seem really controversial considering we put a lot of emphasis on this game. My worst game of 2023 is Starfield.
Oh, God.
So, and I'm going to keep it brief because we've got a few awards to get to. And I loved it quickly. I hated it very slowly. Do you know what I mean? I loved it straight away, but immediately but after the novelty kind of wore off, I went, it's kind of boring. And when she realised that there's actually not a lot to do, the way I referred to this game a lot to Josh is overpromised and underdelivered on every aspect of this game. And I didn't dislike it. I had fun whilst I played it, but I put it down in the start of October, and I have not picked it up again since. I don't think I played it for even a month, and I find that I always have that feeling with Bethesda. And I thought Starfield would break that curse. The only games that I will stay with is Fallout because I just love that in premise. But so for all those reasons, my least favorite game or my worst game of 2023 is Starfield. So that's the first one, Josh. Well, why don't we do a positive one? Why don't you tell me what your best video game is of 2023?
So I racked my brain. There has been some absolute bangers this year. And really, as soon as I got asked the question, it just popped into my head. And it's Hogwarts Legacy.
That is so... I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. Yeah, it had to be. It had to be for you. It had to be.
Like I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan, But what I am a fan of is game studios going, do you want to eat good? Do you want amazing graphics? Do you want to just keep doing stuff forever?
It is just phenomenal.
Do
It's
you
so
want
good.
to just live in a world and be the ultimate wizard? Yes, I do. And Hogwarts Legacy just went, take it all. Take it all.
It did. It's phenomenal.
And I loved
I
it.
think it's amazing. It's such an amazing game. I think its biggest crying shame is that it came out at the start of the year. And it came out first and then was overshadowed by a lot of titans in video games this year. So, but no, good choice.
What about
Mine,
you?
mine is Jedi Survivor. You are yet to play. I absolutely loved it. I loved the first one, but I just absolutely loved Jedi Survivor. Like, I found it really impactful. The story, it's such a well fleshed out story. I think it really expands the Star Wars universe in the right way. Cal Kestis is just such a compelling character. He goes through a lot, and but you can see that, like, what the thing that I really liked the most about Jedi Survivor, and it's a problem that I have with a lot of sequels, but they kind of didn't have this problem. I hate when you play a sequel to a game and you kind of feel like your character has got none of the abilities that they had from the first game. Whereas in this one, whilst he doesn't have them all, he has the majority of them. So he doesn't feel like a complete waste of time as a character again. Like, he already has the double-ended lightsaber. He already has the dual-wielding lightsabers, and he already has the single stancing lightsaber. So, like, he kind of is a continuation. It's got one of the coldest openings to a video game I've ever seen, and it's got some of the most amazing moments. And I think the worlds are just amazing. Like, just they're very fleshed out. The worlds feel like a character this time. And there's a lot of enemy types. There's a lot of different game modes. It just was it was just awesome. I loved it. And I hate to see that it got snubbed at a lot of the same as Hogwarts. Hogwarts was going to be one of mine as well, but I kind of figured you'd pick it. I think they were both snubbed at the Game Awards this year, but it is what it is. Cool. So another negative one then. Onto worst animated show. Animated TV show.
Yeah. I think
we're both going to end up with the same.
Yeah, probably. It's Captain Laserhawk.
Because that's mine.
You don't understand your characters. You treat them like crap, and you just made the worst TV show on the planet.
I think Captain Laserhawk is also mine as well. So congratulations, Laserhawk. You got a joint award. It was just an insult to everything. I think Ubisoft really kind of, for years people have thought Ubisoft have half-assed everything they've ever done. And this, I think, just confirms that.
The only thing I will say about it.
Oh, okay.
The only thing is, aside from the weird directional choices of going into the real world and that sort of tosh, is it was very well animated.
Yeah, the animation is clean.
The animation is very nice. It's very clean, and I enjoyed looking at the characters. Apart from Sam Fisher, no legs.
Yeah. And the fact that my childhood hero was sniffing cocaine off of a table.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
Do you know what? Too soon. Too soon.
Yeah, still too soon.
Moving on.
But for that reason then, best animated TV show. And I've got a funny feeling I know what you're going to pick.
Yeah. Blue-Eyed Samurai was an absolute banger.
It was. I was going to also pick it, but I figured you would, so I've given credit to something else. But yes,
beautiful story.
Choice. Why have you picked
animated.
it?
Yeah, beautiful story, beautiful animated. Just twists and turns, gory, violent. Just adult all the way. Like it really sold the scene, the characters were all really well written. You rooted for the hero. it was just cool and just badass. And yeah, I loved every episode.
Yeah.
I watched every episode intently, and it was just magnificent.
It's sick. It is sick. It's very good. And Kenneth Branagh as the villain is amazing. So
Yeah, he was evil in that
nice.
as well. Oof.
He was.
What about you?
But mine is Visions season 2, Star Wars Visions.
I forgot that came out this year.
It did come out this year, and we did a whole episode on it and how it was a step in the right direction for animation. And to this day, I think this year, nothing animation-wise. I think Blue Eye is close, but I think the level of animation we saw in season 2, compared to even the first season of Visions, was just sublime. And I think because the first season, it had a few good episodes and that was it. But I can't, everything in its own studio was animated very well in season 2. It was just very standout moments in this series, and I think we saw stars of animation that we don't see often. And so for that reason, that is my pick for the year. Yeah,
I was reliving a couple of those episodes while you were saying it, and I was like, "Oh, bang!"
Just Screech's Reach, the Sith. Just some of the most amazing episodes of TV I've ever seen. Please, at some point, if you haven't watched either of those 2 shows, go and watch them because they are awesome.
Fabulous.
So then, worst animated movie.
Elemental.
Ooh, I didn't think you were going to say that, but go on.
And unlike Laserhawk and the other ones we've discussed, which are just dire, Elemental's it's not that pedigree. It's a great film. It is a good film in its sense. It's just not compared to some of the other films.
I think it's very reminiscent of kind of Pixar's standard at the moment.
I think they can do better. For me, my favorite film in recent memory from Pixar, which hopefully I don't eat my words when I do pick an animated film later on, is Lightyear, and I liked the caliber of that side of it, where it's you can see the money goes on the screen. I feel like Elemental was just an afterthought, and it got pushed out. And while it is a good film, it is enjoyable. It's just not as good as the other bangers that have come out this year.
Yeah, fair enough. I figured you were going to pick that or something else, but I won't name what else I thought it was going to be. But it's not what mine is. Mine, and for very similar reasons, is Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken, which is the
Did you watch that
film that came? Yeah, did not like it at all.
Oh, I can imagine.
It was just, I don't know. I just thought it was a bit corny. It was an obvious poke at a lot of Disney movies, especially The Little Mermaid. I just didn't like it. There's nothing memorable about it. I just wasn't a fan. I think it didn't hold up against a lot of the caliber that we've had this year. And so for that reason alone, it is not my favourite animated movie this year. So then, Joshua, what is your favourite animated movie of this year?
So I had to change my answer instantly because you brought up the Oscars and then being the 2022 film, because I picked a little furry cat. But I actually have
You're not very good at this, are you?
No, I kind of think the Oscars come out with films in the same year, but clearly it's not just not a thing. So my favourite film of this year, if it's not that, is going to be Turtles, Mutant Mayhem.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. And
for the reasons.
Why? There's lots of reasons why.
But... it was just banging. It was just great. I really enjoyed it. The cast was really good. Everybody brought their A game. I laughed. You cried. I was enthralled in it all. And it was just really well made. And it was one of those things where like I almost put this as like a sleeper hit, knowing that like because I went in with low expectations. I was like, oh, Seth Rogen,
Yeah,
it'll be all right.
it definitely didn't have a lot of. I feel like there wasn't. Like, there was obviously promotion to that film, but it wasn't like massively promoted, was it? Really, like in terms of
No,
like compared to like Mario or Spider Verse, you know, those were significantly like promoted. So yeah, good
yeah,
choice.
I
Good
liked it,
choice.
enjoyed it. What about you?
Nice. So I was tossing up between a few, and I was going to go down the obvious one, which you know would have been, and I think it is my favorite, but I'm not going to pick it as my favorite for the year. And my favorite I'm going to pick for this year is Nimona. I just, for me, like I almost picked this as my one for another category, which we haven't said yet. But for me, this film just, I was intrigued about it the very first time I heard about it, and it's just a very fun movie about a girl that can shape shift into different animals, and her and this guy go on a lot of fun. They go on this fun adventure to basically overthrow the power. But it also, I think, conveyed a lot of powerful messages about sort of systemic problems. And I just think it was a film a lot of people should pay attention to, and I think don't sleep on it. I think we're going to see a lot of love for this film in the awards season. So that is my animated film of the year. Though it was that category was tough for me because the other my shout out there would have been to Spider-Verse, obviously.
Too easy.
That, that it was easy, but it had such an impact on me that I love that film, and I think it's just look, I already loved Spider-Man and adore it so much, but I think that really reinvigorated a lot of love for that in me. So, but yeah. Anyway, moving on. So I would like to pick the one that is our sleeper hit of the year, and this could be for any. It could be for your animation. It could be an animated TV show or film or a video game. Just one that you thought that when you watched it / played it, you went, "Damn, I was not expecting that. That was unbelievably great, and more people need to be on that." And what was that for you this year?
It was a game called Humanity. I know I've been championing this for.
You have recently fallen in love with this game.
Yeah, I played it, couldn't stop playing it, and it enthralled me. And basically, he plays a dog, which should automatically be right up your street. And you basically guide humanoid. They've not got faces, but they're like really low poly humans.
Human versions of sheep.
Essentially, yeah. And they walk across like lemmings, and you have to guide them around puzzles and get them to this like portal. Oh, mate, ticks boxes. Lemmings? Sure. Plays a dog? Sure. Great graphics? Sure. And you've got little powers that like make them jump or make them like they can jump short distances or long distances, and you can control which direction they move, and like they traverse like walls to get over stuff. But if it's too high, they'll splat on the other side. And it's like those little things you got to plan out your route. And if you plan it out right, it really runs like seamlessly, and it's just like that satisfaction. And for me, like I started playing it, and I was like, "Oh my god, Tyler needs to know about this game." To the point where I sent it to my brother.
I will play it.
I sent it to my brother in Texas, and I was like, "Bro, you need to play this game." And he was like, "Oh, it's right on my street." This, and I was like, "Oh, but it's just on PlayStation."
Yeah.
And I had a bit of a smugness on there. I was like, I felt a little bit, a bit of smug. And I was like,
"Oh, no, it's a good shout.
It was good.
It's a good choice.
Indie game as well.
It looks
Indie's been doing well.
Good. Show some love for the indies.
Yeah.
And I will continue to show some love for the indies with my sleeper hit, and it is another video game, and it is called Season: A Letter to the Future. It was just, from the very start of the year,
Yeah. You were
I
already
was
there.
obsessed with this video game, right? Obsessed. The moment I played it, I was in awe. The sounds, the visuals, like it's a very stunning experience for the senses. It's a beautiful game, and it's again only on PS5, but it is also on PC. And if you have it, I recommend playing it with a headset on because you will only get the full immersion of it from that way. And I became that obsessed with it. I've got the vinyl on. I've got the soundtrack on vinyl. I love it. I literally cannot recommend it enough. It is one of the most heartbreaking, but so beautifully like just wonderful storytelling moments I've ever played. And I want to rave. I rave about it all the time on Twitter still. And if I could play it all over again for the first time, I would. So if you haven't played it, I'm very envious because I wish I could play it again for the very first time. So we've got a couple of awards left, and the next one I'd like to talk about is more of a personal one. Josh, what you consider your best piece of artwork for the year?
My best piece of artwork, and there have been many. No, I'm joking. Is
There have been many, Josh. You're a talented young artist.
thank you very much. I drew a Pokemon Bulbasaur specifically for my friend Tyler, who
He did. It was very sweet.
Some people know him as the other side of Code and Colour. And he and it was a piece that meant something, and I've not drawn anything that meant something before. So for me, it was in memory of your beautiful
my boy,
Smithy.
He is beautiful.
And yeah, so that for me was my favorite piece of artwork because
I will put that image on the screen for everyone to see if you're watching it on YouTube. Yeah, sweet. That's a good choice, and I am very thankful that you did that for me. It was lovely. For me, there's been, I've probably doubled the amount of drawing you've done this year, because I have a lot more free time than you do.
I was going to say because you took to it like a crackhead took to crack. That was.
I did do that.
You just like I'm really drawing, and you started putting things together, making little blobs and doing things, and then you showed me a thing you did the other day, and I was like, Jesus, my boy's come a long way. A long way.
Yeah, someone said that to me about my Spider-Man that I drew recently, which is a nice feeling to see that it's growing. I think one of my favorite things you've said to me this year about my drawing is like, you can always tell when I'm drawing because I just disappear for days on time, and days on end. Sorry, and I won't text, so I'm just so enthralled in the drawing. But the one that stood out for me is a piece that I'm so proud of. It was an idea that's been in my head for the longest time. I even got it printed, but I've never hung it up on my wall because I need to get it cut. But it is my picture of the guy with the flowers coming out of his head. I just it was one of those ideas that I didn't know if I'd be able to execute it, but once I started it, I knew it was going to be amazing, and I'm so proud of that piece of work. That for me was a turning point in my artwork. I think everything prior to that was good. Everything after that has been amazing, and I think it's one of those. But it was also, it's kind of a bit of a double-edged sword for me as well, because it was also a piece that kind of threw my confidence again for a bit because I couldn't draw anything. Like, my problems with my impasses started after I finished that piece. So I think it was one of those that just means a lot to me, I think. And I drew it around a very difficult time for me this year, and I just love it. So it's that one. All right, so we do have just one more category for the year, and this is one that me and Josh have agreed on together, and that is what has been the most impactful for Code and Colour this year, and what we just think is the overarching, what deserves the credit for it this year. Josh, do you want to do the honours of telling us what that is? Can you remember what we said?
Yeah. I just
good.
I just wanted to add something, a special shout out that I think something that really did symbolise Code and Colour this year, for me personally.
Oh dear.
and I thought I'd just get it in there before you attack me. I'm joking. No, is when we went to the Spider-Verse in concert. I thought that was very Spider.
I'm glad you remembered it this time.
Yeah, I thought that was very. It was very Code and Color. We were going to an event. We were talking about it.
Yeah.
And, we
it was
were
better than the first event we went to, which was the art history of Studio Ghibli, which wasn't an art history of Studio Ghibli at all.
No, it was very, very insightful, and there were some stupid questions asked.
It was,
but like, but it was that was one of the events when I was just like, oh, we're here. Like, it was for my birthday, and we were here, and it was great. It felt very,
it was amazing,
very Code and Color.
So
like I felt like press. Like we were there to see what it was like, and we'd have a little
yeah,
chat.
Yeah,
it felt good. I liked it.
No, I loved that. It felt like press. I love that.
The thing that I think brought us together this year was a small indie release from a small studio,
small indie project. You can't don't differ from the language that's used.
Yeah, small indie project from a tiny studio that nobody's heard of, and it was
card game. They made card games.
Yeah, they do. It was Tears of the Kingdom.
It is The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Yes.
Yeah, and it brought us together because while I've not been the biggest fan of the Zelda games, I really think that
it is.
Someone's a super fan. I really think that it was. I liked Breath of the Wild. I loved Tears of the Kingdom. Like, it just leaps and bounds, and it really sold me on when the third one comes, day one, I'll be there.
I don't think they're doing a third one, are they? They've said they're not, but
the news out there.
I think
you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think Tears of the Kingdom revolutionized gaming again, like The Legend of Zelda once again revolutionized sort of open world gaming again. Like Breath of the Wild set a precedent for that generation of gaming at the time, and I think Tears of the Kingdom have done that again. It's once again, this one kind of dives into the kind of concept that the only limitation is your imagination. The sky is no longer the limit because you go to the sky in this one. It was just, I mean, we talked about it a lot in this game. We've compared it to a lot of things. I think Nintendo are very consistently, you can see that it might be their favorite child a little bit, The Legend of Zelda, when it comes to Nintendo, because they put a lot of love into that, where they also let a lot of other franchises go a bit flat.
Looking at you, Mario.
Looking at you a little bit. Mario, Pokemon, I'm looking at you both. I just think it is just an experience that everyone should get to enjoy, and everyone should enjoy. It was a wonderful game. It was nominated for Game of the Year. It won not the Game of the Year, but it won the best, is it fantasy or adventure game for the year? At the Game of the Year Awards. It's one of those.
I think so, yeah.
And rightfully so. It is a magnificent experience. And it is the first game I've ever bought that is a collector's edition. It's the only time I've ever bought a collector's edition game. And it's very upsetting because I've got a wonderful art book with it. And it's like, every time I look at collector's editions now, they just don't come with an art book. And I just want them all to come with one. But yeah, so yeah, that is our CNC Awards. So, I mean, not that it, offers much in terms of their reputation, but congratulations to everyone that we've picked this year. We obviously want to know what you guys would pick for each category. I'm sure there has been some, but one final accolade of the episode is as usual, our CNC recommendation. And it falls on me, and I'm going to keep it within the theme of, the holiday spirit. And for me, it is an animated movie called Klaus. Now, it's a Netflix original film, so if you haven't seen it, you can watch it on there. It's a very beautiful, stylized animation, and it's about this postman who kind of, it's very typical Christmassy kind of vibe. It's about this postman who kind of doesn't really know what he's doing in this world, and then lands an opportunity with a guy called Klaus, who is essentially Santa Claus. It's got a stacked cast. Josh will love it for that reason, because he loves a voice cast in a movie. Just to sort of give some kind of shed some light on who we have in this film. Jason Schwartzman, J.K. Simmons, Joan Cusack. Actually, I said stacked cast. That's about as good as it gets, really. But to be fair, J.K. Simmons, so it's already worth a watch. So yeah, if you want to watch that, you can find it on Netflix. It's been out for 4 years, so you should have watched it. Add it to your Christmas movie collection. Yeah.